Hello and welcome to my training. My name is Chuck Holmes. I'm the founder and publisher of Part-Time Commander. Today's training video is going to be about how to take care of your soldiers. I want to share some tips that I learned during my 15 plus years in the military. Hopefully there's a few nuggets in here that you can take out and apply into your own leadership style. First and foremost, our number one responsibility as a leader is to make sure that our soldiers are prepared for combat. I know that doesn't sound sexy, but ultimately the Army is about fighting and winning the nation's land wars. Our job as NCOs or officers, it means that we have to make sure our soldiers are mentally fit, physically fit, they have the skills, they have the will to do their job in combat, get the job done, and come home safely. If you get nothing else out of this training, make sure you remember that. It's not your job to be your soldier's friend. It's not your job to be their buddy. It's your job to be their leader. It's your job to make sure they are capable of doing their job in really extreme climates. But there's some other things you can do to take care of your soldiers that I'm going to share with you. Number one, provide some tough, realistic training. Battle-focused training. This is another big takeaway from this. You need to make sure your soldiers can work well under stress, under lack of sleep. Maybe they are cross-trained. You want to make sure that they are mentally and physically prepared for combat. The best way to make that happen is to do tough, realistic training. If you are in the National Guard or Army Reserve, this means you get out of the armory when you can, you go out to the field, you do some real world training, you teach soldiers the battle drills, they're MOS specific, the warrior task, so that they can do what they need to do. Do not do all PowerPoint training. Get out in the field, roll your sleeves up, make sure your soldiers are trained. This happens pretty well on active duty because they live it and they breathe it. But if you are serving part-time in the Guard or the Reserve, you're going to have to double down and work extra hard to make this happen. Number two, if you want to take care of your soldiers, you need to enforce the Army standards. It means you enforce the Army standards equally to everyone under your authority. You don't play favorites. Let's remember this. There's only one standard in the Army, and that's the Army standard. It's our job to follow those standards ourselves with our own personal example, and it's to enforce those standards within our unit. Some of the worst units I've ever been in were units where the leader of the unit did not enforce the standards. Soldiers love discipline. Soldiers like the environment where it's highly trained, highly motivated, highly disciplined. That's what they want. They crave that stuff. Your job is to make sure you're enforcing the Army standards. You're not playing favorites. You're not letting certain soldiers get away with things and only picking on junior enlisted. It means you're holding everyone to the same standard. This is really, really important. Now, when things go wrong, and they do, soldiers are going to mess up their people. NCOs are going to mess up their people. Even officers are going to mess up their people. It's how you deal with things when things go wrong. When there's an issue with a soldier or an NCO, pull them aside in private. There's no need to embarrass them in front of everyone else. Address the issue, remedy it, get it fixed. Pretty simple. Number three, you want to reward good performance. This is an area a lot of leaders in the military mess up at. If the only time you hear from your boss is when you do something wrong, that means your boss is not doing their job properly. What you want to do as a supervisor is you want to make sure your soldiers are getting attaboys, certificates, awards from time to time. Maybe you take them out to lunch, but you want to reward good performance. It's kind of like training a dog. When you get a puppy, if you only discipline it when it does wrong, your dog is going to be extremely confused. It's probably not going to be a very good dog. How you train dogs is you give them positive reinforcement. When they do things right, you say, good boy, you give them a treat, what have you. And over a period of time, they develop good habits. It's no different with people. You want to make sure you are rewarding good performance even more than you are reprimanding poor performance. So don't let this area slip. It's something a lot of us slip up at. It's something I struggled with for a long time until someone taught me. Number four, you need to reprimand poor performance. Everyone in the unit knows who that one soldier is, who's a slacker, who's always getting over, who's always doing the bare bones minimum. They're always testing that line of authority. Good soldiers do not like seeing bad soldiers get over. Let me repeat that. Good soldiers do not like seeing bad soldiers get over. Your key to success is to make sure that your soldiers understand what is expected of them and they know what will happen if they fail to meet those expectations. When something is wrong, as I mentioned earlier, address it promptly, deal with it privately if possible, and get the issue fixed. The longer you let a problem continue, the worse it's going to affect the entire morale and esprit de corps in your unit. Number 5 is to provide constant feedback. People need feedback. People want to know where they stand with their boss. So whether you are a team leader, whether you're a general officer, make sure you're providing positive feedback and constant feedback to the people that you supervise. They want to know how they're doing. And if you don't ever tell them, they're always going to wonder. So everyone deserves to know where they stand with their boss. Don't you agree with that? I've got a few bonus tips too to help you take care of your soldiers. The first thing you can do is listen. When your soldier comes to you with a problem or they come to you with a question, just stop what you're doing for a minute, give them your undivided attention and listen to them. This is one of the fastest ways to show your soldiers that you care. If you're not willing to listen to them, they're going to stop bringing you their problems. And the day they stop bringing you their problems is the day you've lost their respect as their leader. Another thing you can do to take care of your soldiers is to find out what they want. Sit them down as you do your counseling, find out what their career goals are in the military, outside of the military, find out what they're trying to accomplish in the short term, and see if there's anything you can do to help them move closer to that goal. Another way to take care of your soldiers is to encourage personal development. Talk to them about the importance of lifelong learning. Talk to them about the importance of their education, both civilian and military. Make sure they're getting the schools they need when they need them. Another thing you can do is to respect them as a human being. Let's face it, we are all human beings. Yes, we wear the uniform. Yes, there are ranks. I get it. But we're all humans. No one is perfect. Everyone's going to make mistakes. Make sure you have some empathy from time to time. This does not mean you're a pushover. It does not mean you let things slack, but you are empathetic from time to time and you realize, hey, you're not perfect. I'm not perfect. No one is perfect. The next thing you can do is do not be their friend. This is something a lot of young and inexperienced leaders in the military mess up. Brand new NCOs and brand new officers, especially, they try to be buddy-buddy with the people they supervise. This always backfires. You are not your subordinate's friend. You're their leader. And it's your job to respect them as people, to treat them well, but it's your job to lead them, not be their friend. You can still do things together from time to time, but do not make the mistake of trying to be buddy-buddy with the people that you supervise. The next thing you can do is keep people informed. If you know of something that's going on in the unit, something with the mission, and it's not classified, it's not confidential, keep your troops informed. So soldiers want to know what's going on. The reason that rumors start a lot in the military is because soldiers don't know what's going on. That information is not flowing down like it should. So whenever possible, keep everyone under your command or everyone under your authority informed as much as possible. The last one is to fix problems promptly. Now, here's the truth. Problems are going to happen. Problems are constant. Nothing ever goes exactly as planned. There's always things that backfire. We always have that plan B in the Army, that contingency plan. When you get an issue, fix it. That's what we get paid to do as leaders. Ultimately, we get paid to solve problems. If you don't have problems, you're probably not doing anything. There's always going to be problems. It's how you handle them, how quickly you handle them, how well you handle them. That's what matters. Do not procrastinate and drag things out when there's a problem with your troops. And remember this quote: no matter how educated, talented, rich, or cool you believe you are, how you treat people ultimately tells all. Integrity is everything. They say that if you want to see a person's true character, give them a position of power. And I definitely agree with that. So use your rank and your position not to serve yourself. Use it to serve the people that you lead. A couple suggested books that I would recommend for you are Small Unit Leadership by Dan Malone. This is one of my favorite military leadership books of all time. You have The 1 Minute Manager by Ken Blanchard and Situational Leadership by Ken Blanchard. If you're a young NCO, E5, E6, or even a corporal, or if you are a company grade officer, lieutenant, or captain, I really recommend you order and read and study and implement these 3 books. It's going to help you take care of your soldiers. It's going to help you be a better leader. So these are my tips. I hope you'll check out the link below this video. You can read my blog post where you can get more information about this subject. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm on a mission now to publish 1 video a day, 5 to 6 days a week, to train NCOs, officers, soldiers in the National Guard, Army Reserve, and Defense Force. With that, Thank you for your service. Have a great day. Don't forget to check out my website. Take care.